Jeff. Congrats on A Man in Full. I think this is some of the best work in your entire career. I really love the show. And while this is a drama, there are some hilarious moments and deliveries throughout this. How rewarding is it when you get to do a project that gets to show so much of your range?
Well, thank you. It was an easy yes. When David E. Kelley and Regina King came to me and they had this and they kind of I had read the first episode before the meeting and I said I'm in. I mean, with those two people, Tommy Schlamme, who's a veteran director, those three people were made it a yes. And then you're playing someone who's larger than life, who doesn't know he's funny, but is to the audience. And and then, there's this descent from a man's man down to, maybe an ordinary person. It's like a free fall from being so wealthy and then having the bank take away all that money. And it's just like a free fall. And that's fun to play. And and it's a complicated part. It's tricky. You can't get caught trying to be funny. And you've got to kind of marry the drama along with the comedy and not get caught, being too leaning towards one or the other. And so that's the challenge of it, and that's the trick of it. I'm thrilled that I'm one of these actors that gets to play not only comedy and drama, like when the Greeks were holding up two masks, but sometimes at the same time. And that's the little magic trick that's fun to challenge myself with time and time again.
That's incredible. And you mentioned a man's man. So I wanted to ask you about masculinity because your character, Charlie Croker, he's the guy that refuses to use a wheelchair after surgery because he considers it weak. And this show really explores masculinity, the idea of legacy in a lot of ways. So, what do you think when masculinity is brought up? What do you think of being a man is? Because it's more than a man's got to shake his balls, as Charlie says.
As Charlie says, yeah. Yeah, it's more than that. And certainly the times have changed here in 2024. Uh, that kind of man's man isn't necessarily revered the way he was decades ago, that it's not necessarily a goal anymore. And that even the men's men of the world could use a little humanity and a little, like sit down and be quiet for a while. I mean, it's the times have changed, and I think David and Regina and Tommy did a great job of kind of blowing that up. It's watching, what do they call it, a dirigible or a blimp or something, the man's man blimp, and then it just blows up and falls all the way to the earth. That's what A Man in Full does by the end of the 6 episodes. It was a fun ride, even though I ended up, face planning, on Earth.